I hear that old piano from down the avenue.
Good for you!
I smell the pine trees. I look around for you.
Bueno de gabagool.
Oh, my sweet, sweet, sweet old someone.
I'm Alex.
Coming through that door.
What up, Al?
It's Saturday and the band is playing. Honey, could we ask for more?
We?
Everybody, welcome to the show. This is No More Whoppers, Homeland Week, a.k.a. a Fraioli Home Companion. I'm your host, Master of Breakfast, Ray Barnholt. And joining me as always, and in fact for the first time on this show in person, he's just plain crazy, Alex Fraioli.
Hi, folks.
Alex.
That's my first time hearing that intro. Ray just played it for me live.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good. I'm Alex. Yes, I am.
How are you doing?
I am fine. Folks, as you know, this week marks, today marks the
Our
first...
bicentennial.
That's right. We are 200 years old. I am staying at Ray's house for a few days. A few days, both house and a few days being generous words in that sense. We're going to record some episodes. It's Homeland Week. I'm excited.
Yes. We're going to do a show a day.
A feeling is in the air.
Yeah. Of course, you've been on vacation the entire month, basically.
That's true.
You've been with your family at the time that you haven't been with me.
That's right. This is the end of my vacation.
Yes. Now, what was that like? What's it like having a family?
Oh, it's exciting. There's all sorts of gifts and arguments.
Yeah.
And dinners. Well, no. So,
Okay, so moving on. We got some overnerds.
We've got a few overnerd. No, wait. We've got a few days for me to actually get to the heart of my vacation time.
Yeah.
I think for the first installment of Homeland Week, I want to talk about the travels themselves.
All right.
Because I'm not a very good traveler. I get very bad travel anxiety. I tend to seize up and go crazy.
You do.
And this time was no different. Folks, I usually get my Shinkansen ticket a month in advance.
That means bullet train.
Bullet train, thank you. I get my plane tickets early. Usually my dad is a huge help with that. And then usually I have to fly out of Narita or Haneda, which are both in Tokyo.
That means bullet train?
So, and rail means rail. So I have to take the bullet train. That means bullet train.
Yeah, right.
Up the coast from Nagoya to Tokyo. So a month before I left, I bought a ticket. I was all set to go. I finished packing. My train left August 2nd. It was August 1st when I finished packing, and I sat down and relaxed. I was ready to go. I decided to take one more look at my Shinkansen ticket, which was supposed to be for 7 p.m. Ray, you'll never guess what ticket I had actually bought.
7 a.m.?
Yep.
Okay.
7 a.m. Luckily, I had just enough time to run down to the train station and very nicely ask, tell the guy, I bought the wrong ticket. Can you change it out for the right one? And he does it in less than a minute.
Yeah.
Takes
good.
my ticket and hands me the right one at no charge.
Well, that's good.
Yes. And if I had not realized that, I would have been out of about $100. I would have been screwed because I would not have time to get that ticket changed in the morning, and the station was about to close. So I just got it under the wire.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was travel screw up number one, and then there was one more.
Minor nightmare.
Minor nightmare number two came when I got off the Shinkansen in Tokyo. To be specific, Shin Yokohama.
That means Narita.
Yes. And I use an app called Jorudan to plan all my train and bus routes throughout Japan. It's a very, very useful app. I think a lot of people in Japan use it.
Yeah.
It gives you train timetables and everything. You just plug in where you are, where you want to go, and what your time limit is and such. So I plugged that in, and oh Jesus! So somebody's beer can on the ground. I think.
Sorry, we're doing this live.
I know. And I'm used to dealing with trains, and I get to there and I see, I'm supposed to switch to something called the Haneda line, which goes to Haneda Airport.
Right.
And I'm searching all over, and I'm time is ticking down. Like I got there with 15 minutes to change lines. And I'm like, 15 minutes, more than enough time. It's not a huge station. I can find the Haneda line. Scouring this place, time is ticking by. Suddenly I have 10 minutes. 10 minutes turns into 5 minutes, turns into 4 minutes, turns into 3 minutes. I'm starting to freak out because I cannot find this Haneda train line.
Yeah.
Turns out it's a bus line, not a train.
Oh.
There's an icon in the app, which is very small, which will indicate train or bus. I've never actually seen it, give me a bus route before because I never...
Was it the front of a bus? Because that looks like the front of a train.
No, I believe it was the side. So the silhouette, which, again, kind of my fault. But I eventually found it just in time. It was just sitting out front of the station. Very nice guy, took my bag. But I was so freaked out by having these two travel experiences sort of back to back that I was expecting to get to my terminal and it was just like a field of cows is what I was expecting. I was expecting to end up somewhere else completely, like maybe in a timeline where air travel doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
But fortunately,
you would have actually slipped through a wormhole.
Yes, would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But no, I got here fine.
Good.
Yes.
Obviously.
You're
here.
I'm right here.
Yeah. You're in one piece.
Yeah. Look, I'm waving at you. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
How's it going?
Wow, this is great.
Microphones.
It's amazing how advanced hologram technology has come.
Oh, Judy. I don't even know.
I should say, you're a little bit tired.
I am.
You've been on an overnight flight.
I thought you were going to say Bender. I was on a very...
Well, that's now.
Yeah, I was on a very, very early flight. My flight left at 5:55 a.m.
Okay, might as well be overnight.
I woke up at 3.
Yeah.
I went to bed at midnight.
Yeah. It was while I was sleeping. So.
Yeah, I thought... Great movie, by the way.
Yes,
I thought... I had this great idea. I thought, I know. I'll drink a bottle and a half of wine and just stay up. That's a fantastic idea. And then somewhere along the line, that turned into, I know, I'll drink a bottle and a half of wine and then just pass out real easy like. And then just wake up.
Yeah.
That doesn't work either. I drank a bottle and a half of wine.
Did you go unconscious at any point?
Well, yeah, for about 3 hours.
All right.
And then I woke up, and it was the most uncomfortable experience I may have ever had because I set my iPhone alarm. It was like that submarine, alarm, like whap, whap, whap.
Wow.
And it went off, and I just kept on sleeping.
You thought you were in a submarine.
I was dreaming, like that sound was in my dream,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, it's part of my dream.
Yeah.
Never once considered, no, jackass, it's your alarm, wake up. Just like, oh, there's an alarm in my dream. Well, as long as I can keep sleeping, I'm
in
fine
your
with
head,
that.
there's Das Boat going on.
Yes. Das Butt.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know what your dreams are like.
Butt alarm's going off.
But, well, geez, yeah. I would, that's the kind of thing I have nightmares about.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, missing alarms, missing flights, missing whatever.
It's
but
awful.
usually, I must say that I'm pretty jaded altogether.
Really?
I'm gradually becoming more and more jaded as years go on. It's like I know what to do at the airport. I know how to get there, yada, yada, yada.
Well,
So.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty numb to travel now, except for anything dealing with my passport or documentation. Because as you folks may know, I lost my passport in 2004, the first time I came to Japan. And I went through this whole expensive procedure.
You can check the 2004 archives and No More Whoppers.
They're in there.
Yeah.
I had to get a replacement passport real quick. It was very expensive and it was a big inconvenience. And ever since then, anytime I have to take my passport out for any reason, like to show it to somebody, as I'm putting it back, like if I blink, I have to start over. Is how bad my paranoia is about my passport.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid I'm going to lose. Like, even when I'm on the plane, I will have to check my passport like every few hours to make sure it's still in my bag.
Ouch.
That is an ouch.
Yeah. That's too bad.
I know.
You freak.
Yeah, folks, we should mention that I'm sort of operating on a handicap during Homeland Week. I do not have my soundboard with me. Raymond, however, has full command of his soundboard.
Yeah.
I have...
Not entirely.
My only armament here is the Jimmy Pardo soundboard that I downloaded, and this crappy Rimshot app that I have, and which I don't really know I'm going to
Is there any such thing as a good rim shot?
I believe that one right there.
Yeah, maybe. I liked it. Well, that's like old times, yeah. That's like the old Alex soundboard I remember, yeah. I'm liking it.
Frazier has left the building.
course, I have all my hits.
You do, I know. I'm going to get pummeled this week.
I made a few new ones. You heard one.
You did?
Yeah.
Ha! All right. Anyway, folks, stick around. We've got a great show. Coldplay is here. I don't know what's happening.
Well, you know what? If you want to, let's go ahead and talk about some apologies.
That's a good idea.
Guy who doesn't understand.
Wait a minute. Why is that the apology theme?
Closest thing I had
No.
on the board. I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I don't know.
All right, what are we apologizing for?
Well, gosh, I guess I should apologize publicly to Ike.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. My tone of voice may have seemed a bit too serious when I was trying to be a little bit more joking. So if anybody, including Ike, thought that I was actually telling him to not send anything in,
sorry.
I don't really care. Thank you for the iPhone interference.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Now you need to apologize to me. But yeah, that's all that I have, really. Just a misunderstanding. I don't want anybody... Look, I mean, Alex does fake mad really well. I don't...
What do you mean by that?
That's about the long and short of that, really. So, feel free if you've been scorned by No More Whoppers, the things I say.
First of all, join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Second of all, let us know.
Feel free to ask for clarification. Feel free to go, hey, Ray, were you really mad? And I'll probably say yes or no. Most likely no. Because really, life's too short. YOLO, etc. That's my apology. I don't know if you have one.
I don't. Actually, though, I did want to thank Ike Wagner because he penned a very handy NES cleaning guide.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the thanks segment.
Guy who doesn't understand.
No, we can't use it for both.
It's the only thing I have.
You have nothing else?
Hold on.
Ouch.
Is that music, though?
Ow, 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 ouch.
Oh,
I
hey.
can sort of DJ it.
Wow,
Yeah,
I could swear Skrillex is in the
I
room.
guess. I don't know. Is that good? You do that.
You fascinate me.
Okay. You were saying.
Yes. Well, okay. Let me start at the beginning. Folks, I am planning to open a retro video game bar in Nagoya.
You still don't have a Sega CD?
That hurts. That hurts a lot now because I know now that my Sega CD is dead.
Oh, that's right.
So that's really personal now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
My parents put all my stuff into a storage unit in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
My dad and I took a trip down there. I got all my video games out of storage. And I was trying to get my NES and games working again. I just couldn't. And I was sort of complaining about it on Twitter. And Ike chimed in with, hey, try this. And he recommended his cleaning guide, which is very reliant on a compound called Brasso, used for cleaning brass, the brass polish. And
Is that like Beano? Beefarino?
yes, you take it before you eat beans. Or before you eat brass. It relies on Brasso and Windex, I think, in equal parts, and it worked like a charm. I got my NES working. I cleaned pounds of gunk out of all my NES carts, and the ones that I cleaned now work completely fine. So thank you very much, Ike. You've saved me a lot of money and heartache. On the downside, it does seem that my poor old Sega CD is beyond hope.
Well, yeah. Like I said to you before, that's not too much of a surprise. I had to go through like 2 or 3 when I was a kid.
I
so.
know. Even
terrible.
when it was still new, I had problems with the disc tray.
Right.
Because I think at one point someone, probably me, had closed the lid on the tray too tightly, and that pushed the bottom of the tray down.
Yeah, but
and that resulted. I don't know, but that resulted in whenever a disc would spin, you could hear a sound of the top sort of catching on.
And then 60
disc.
Minutes started.
Yes.
And then after you were done playing Sonic CD, Andy Rooney came on.
He gets it.
This is going good.
I had a lot of fun.
This is a keeper, I think.
Yeah.
Although it is technically us promoting another podcast.
I'm fine with that.
Well,
But I do think my Super Nintendo may be a lost cause.
Yeah, you didn't even bring it.
I know. Well,
I should say, you brought this giant, what was it, 70-pound bag full of your clothes and retro games.
The limit for checked baggage, by the way, is 50 pounds. It costs $100 to check that. I'm serious about this.
And the whole point was that you could save money.
Yeah, but shipping it freighter is like $400.
Well, you could have done it piecemeal as well.
No.
Maybe you could have asked your dad nicely, Let's just put these in separate boxes and do them piecemeal.
Maybe.
That's what I've done before when I visited, my mom and whatnot.
That's okay.
Look, I'm not calling you stupid.
Are you sure?
Don't look at me like that.
Why?
I'm not calling you stupid.
But why do you keep repeating that? I didn't even accuse you.
I can see it in your eyes.
What's in my eyes?
Your huge, gorgeous eyes.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I get all melty. Yeah.
Soy Alex!
I'm Latino.
No, you're not.
No?
No.
I'm fascinated by your games on the wall.
That's right. As I've mentioned before, last time you visited here...
Do you have 2 copies of Endless Ocean?
No, it's the sequel.
Oh.
It's Endless Ocean and Endless Ocean Blue World. See, it's over here. Blue World.
I see it.
Yes, we're recording right next to my librarian.
What the hell is Git Club?
GTI Club.
Oh.
It's a car. You never heard of a GTI?
Is that like a Mini Cooper?
So yeah, same sort of class. Yeah.
Like mini dissect.
We're learning a lot tonight on No More Whoppers, and that,
Yeah.
Thanks to Alex, going ahead and asking the questions that people have been meaning to
I
ask.
ask the hard-hitting questions.
Yes.
For example, what is your brain age?
I think I've got it down to 20. That's about, yeah.
Wait a minute, is it legal to have sex with somebody whose brain age is under 18?
No. It's not an actual classification for anything. It's just some professor made up.
You said it's not legal.
I said it's not illegal. It's not legal. Well, we're going to have lots of pauses like that on the show over the week, so don't
Git
worry.
Club.
Because we don't have a lot of time to edit this.
Yeah, sorry, folks.
So yeah, this is mostly raw, No More Whoppers.
Yeah.
We're raw dogging it.
I'm trying to
That's right.
I'm trying to ration out my stories because I don't want to get too into the process.
Your
but-
soaps, yes.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I love that Billy Crystal in Soap.
Are my games too distracting for you? Because I said
Little
last
bit.
year you just kept staring at him and staring at
I
him.
know, I can't stop looking at him.
Because I have so many, I guess.
And I want games. And folks, I played Theater Rhythm.
Feature them.
I still think it's Theater
Feature
Rhythm.
them.
For a little while. That's a fun game.
Feature them.
I did enjoy that.
Feature them.
Theater Rhythm.
Feature them.
A turbo controller really helps in this game.
What context?
It could have.
What game?
On Feature rhythm.
No, Turbo Control would screw you up.
Well, if it was a highly intelligent robot.
Has anyone made a
That-
turbo stylus? It's just like a jackhammer.
Well, not exactly, but there was a thing in Japan that came out. It was called the Periborg, and it was the thing that attached to your hand.
The hell?
It was made by Hori, who makes like joysticks and
Yeah,
other
yeah.
sorts of accessories and stuff. And it was like a little motor thing that could be used to like vibrate your finger really fast, and you could,
Really?
I guess, technically do that. It also came with a spork attachment,
Oh boy.
so you could just attach, not vibrate, and you,
Oh,
you don't want to shake your food all around. But
No.
it was just one of those.
That's gross.
It was one of those concept accessories that they made.
Yeah.
So technically, yeah, there was a turbo stylus. It is a good idea, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think the technology is there because you have like those Gillette razors that vibrate.
I
right
hate
out. You
those.
just-
I
but you
use
just
one.
pop the battery in and it goes. You could do that with
What
the
is
stylus.
the point of that, though?
I'm not saying there's a
To
point
vibrate
to
your
that.
face?
It's supposed to mimic like an electric.
First
razor.
of all, yeah, I'm never using that on my DS
Right.
ever again because it slashed up my screen. Second of all,
okay.
batteries are expensive.
yeah. Well, not necessarily. You could always get an Eneloop or something, some other sort of rechargeable
Actually,
thing.
I do use Eneloops in
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah. On my recommendation.
Primarily
actually.
for my, yes, thank you, for my Mac keyboard and mouse.
Folks, Homeland Week brought to you by Eneloop. Rechargeable batteries.
Yeah.
They last long.
Don't forget.
I guess.
Their slogan, Eneloop, backwards is Poolie.
Alex is tired. I should mention one
am
more
re-
time.
Folks-
He's been up for quite a while.
Here's how tired I am. In my notes for this episode, I have one line that's just 2 words. Improv Paralympics. I don't know why I wrote that down. It's not funny.
No,
At one point, I thought it was.
we can make it funny.
Okay.
Improv Paralympics. Do you have any idea what the seed of that was? Were you thinking of improv games? The Olympics were just over.
I
Is
think
that-
it's because the Paralympics coincided with the actual Olympics.
Right.
Does that happen? Did that happen?
I have no idea.
What's the difference between the Paralympics and the Special Olympics?
I don't know.
And what about the
I'm too
dudes who competed in the Olympics who had prosthetic limbs? Why didn't they just go for the Special or Paralympics?
I don't know. It's all politics.
Is it?
That's my answer for anything related to the Olympics. Why were they robbed of that? Politics. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay, well, in my head, I'm thinking Improv Paralympics, right?
Right.
I'm thinking a bunch of comedians, at the UCB or something on stage doing CrossFit.
What's CrossFit?
It's a sort of group exercise, like trend movement thing.
Jazzercise?
No, it's
Mousercise.
I can't really explain it too well. Someone else, we'll have to call in a CrossFit expert here on the show.
Aquarobics.
But it's sort of like a
Water aerobics.
more open sort of group, sort of also mixed up sort of exercise regimen thing.
Billy's Boot Camp.
Close, not quite. Yeah.
I
should get that Wii game.
A jumping jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sports expert Alex Fraioli.
4. Oh boy.
I thought, you know what? I said at the top of the show, I'm the master of breakfast. We went and had a nice breakfast today.
Yes, that was delicious.
Yeah, at a nearby coffee shop.
That was
place.
fantastic.
Yeah. And I thought that would, I thought it would boost your energy enough to keep you going through the day.
Pardon?
It seemed to work out mostly.
I'm ready to collapse. It did work out a bit.
Most of the day.
But when I think of energy, gigantic meal full of carbs is not really what I have in mind.
It's still food.
It is food,
And
but it's food that my body
is a
needs
basic
energy to
element
digest.
that gives humans energy.
That's true.
It's not. Well, I mean, pancakes and whatnot aren't the worst thing. You could just like be eating fistfuls of hard candies or something like that. You wouldn't want to do that.
No,
That's quick energy. It's not. It's junky food as well. Like, you don't want that.
that's quick energy.
Anyway,
What about Nestle Quick?
yeah.
Because that is technically quick
Do you like Yoo-Hoo?
energy.
Are you a fan of Yoo-Hoo?
Yes.
I don't like it.
No?
It's not enough like chocolate.
It's one of those things that if I don't shake it really, really well, I can't enjoy it when I drink it because I know
These people play video games for a living.
that these people play video games for a living. Because I know that Yoo-Hoo is about 37% sludge. And you have to sort of reconstitute it and shake up the thing.
Sludge-Hoo.
Yes. Yes!
See, this guy gets it.
It's like Z-Quil.
What is that?
It's the new NyQuil spin-off meant just for getting you drowsy.
Really?
It's ZZZ-Quil, but they pronounce it Z-Quil. It's like
pretty good.
It's like people who would just chug NyQuil in order to get sleep. They weren't sick or anything.
Yeah.
They just decided, well, let's just make one that doesn't actually have any medicinal properties except for making you drowsy.
It's a soporific. Is that the word?
I guess.
Sleep aid.
Opiate?
I wanna
Would
say-
is it an opiate?
I was going to say laxative, but I know that's not
No, that's not it.
it.
Sorry.
I always thought that the word soporific lends itself very well to advertising.
Yes.
Because it's descriptive of the thing, and it sounds like a positive description. It's soporific! Right? No?
It does. And it reminds you of Sapporo.
Somebody help me out. I'm really tired. Yes, it reminds me of
Capital
Totoro.
of Hokkaido.
What?
Sapporo.
Oh, I went Totoro.
The beer or the capital of Hokkaido?
Yeah.
We should go there sometime.
Crabs.
Boy, oh boy. But yes, we had a nice breakfast. You sat here and played FF11 for a little bit.
About 15 minutes.
It was good enough, though. I mean, you did get some playtime in.
No. I didn't enjoy it.
And I'm thinking that this will be pretty much the theme of the week.
Games.
We got to do some stuff tomorrow, but I think you're going to come back home and play more Final Fantasy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I got to somehow drop 20 pounds from that bag. I'm going to do bag exercises.
Yeah. Well, you were telling me
Yes,
you want to send the stuff here anyway.
I do.
So why don't you just piecemeal it again?
All right, I think I will. I might have to borrow some of your space here for a little bit.
You have been. I mean, I have this giant tote bag in the middle of my
I
kitchen.
know, but I mean even after I leave.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's not
Like I might give you a couple bucks and say, hey, mail this at some point.
Mail it?
Yes.
Gibson?
Mail.
Oh, okay. Mel Gibson this. No, then I would just destroy it.
Just going to let you go on.
Okay, well, I guess then we should move on.
I think we should. Folks, we haven't done a proper episode in a few weeks. We have gotten a ton of Facebook likes.
That is correct.
and donations, both of which will be addressed right now. Let's take the donations first,
All right.
because these people are very important to me, to us.
Yes.
We've received quite a lot of money from people. And if you've donated in the past few weeks, you will be mentioned during Homeland Week. We're only going to do a couple people a day, because if we did them all at once, it would just be ridiculous and not fun for anybody involved.
Yeah, it's fun to stagger things.
It is, you know.
Fills out this week, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I'm going to tackle two donations today. Once again, as you know, dollars equals seconds. First up is Jeremy Lansing.
Michigan?
This fine gentleman donated a 10 spot, so he gets 10 seconds of airtime. All right, Raymond, whenever you're ready.
Okay, Jeremy. Ready and go.
Okay, Jeremy Lansing, thank you again, sir. His message, caught me off guard with this question. Just keep bringing out the Pac-Man on NES drop every so often. I miss it. Yeah, he was the inspiration from the town in Michigan, and I'm pretty sure that... All right, well, geez. Jeremy, thank you very much.
Might not have been 10 seconds. I might have done that off the cuff.
I trust you. Yeah, folks, as you know, it costs us $15 a month for hosting.
I don't think they knew that.
Oh, they don't?
Unless they also look on Libsyn or something.
Now they know.
If they run their own podcast.
But I would like to upgrade us to a better service per month. Ray and I seem to disagree on this at the moment. I would like to get some more monthly space so we could put
I'll
up
sleep on it.
some higher quality. Well, folks, if anybody gives a crap about episode, because I mean, if nobody cares, we don't need to. But I'm kind of a stickler for audio quality.
Yes.
And I feel like if the episode is encoded at a lower bit rate, it sounds like you may as well be listening to crappy AM radio. In some.
I don't disagree, but my thing is that I don't think the show sounds as bad as you have said.
I think it sounds awful. I want to get as high quality as possible, and it's only another $5 a month. It's $20 a month, and we've got the money to do it. Well, it's not really a topic to be handled on air, is it? Good work, Alex.
Thanks again.
All right.
Hey, it's Homeland Week.
Hey,
Whatever.
welcome.
That's our excuse.
No, that's not an appropriate song.
No.
All right.
Goodbye.
Second donor, Andrew Jones.
All right.
Andrew Jones donated. Hey, we got an Andrew from Andrew.
Really?
Get it? Because Andrew Jackson, he's on the 20.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
no.
Okay.
Okay. Wait. No, an Andrew from Andrew, who is Andrew. I get it.
All right.
All right. Andrew. Okay. And go.
All right, under purpose, and the very generous Andrew Jones wrote, make Ray talk about the Mega Drive game Gynog. Ray, you familiar with that game?
A little bit.
Okay. Here are some other famous Joneses that I've known. Chris Jones, obviously, he wrote for the GIA. Adam Jones, I knew him in the first grade. He introduced me to Castlevania a long time ago. He's kind of a nice guy. I never really kept up with him. All right, thank you, Andrew Jones.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ray.
Gynoog, Wings of War, I believe is called.
What kind of game is that?
Shoot 'em up.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks, Andrew.
Yes. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Jeremy. We've got more thanks coming in the days ahead. So, folks, stick around. We're going to do more of that later.
And always send us money.
Yeah, I mean...
Just because it's Homeland Week, you don't have to stop.
No.
After the week.
This is our equivalent of the NPR pledge drive.
Yeah. You
Right?
know what? We should have thought about that.
Yeah, we should.
Before we started.
Except we have no tote bags.
No.
We've got some Rolling Rocks.
Yeah,
in the
we're
fridge.
kind of on the rocks here. I'm playing the wrong drops. And,
God.
it's,
No, hey!
I mean,
No, that was appropriate.
it's really a shit show going on so far. Hopefully we settle in.
I don't care for that language.
I'm sorry. Alex.
What?
I'm Alex.
No!
See? Okay.
Kid Club.
So what's next?
I wanted to cover Facebook likes.
Yeah.
Specifically because I think since I got on summer vacation, we've had 50 Facebook likes.
People are rolling in. We got new fans coming in.
Yeah.
By the truckload every day.
And I'm gonna divvy these up during the week. So I'm gonna read the first batch today. Ray,
Yes.
can you throw me the Facebook likes background music, please?
Of course.
Thank you, folks. We're doing it live, so there's an element of sort of an off the cuffness that I think is kind of fun. Okay, here we go. Josh Waladika.
Not so loud, please. I have neighbors.
Sorry. Alex Martin, Dennis Zoolander, thank you very much, John Estoye, Gavin Laughin McCafferty, Graham Hobbs and Barley, very nice guy, I believe he donated before, Robert Lorenz, or Roblo, Alex Shakow, Brandon Douglas Furr, and a man whose bloodlust is subsidized by the government, Hunter Grant. Thank you, everybody, for liking the Facebook page. I think you guys liked, maybe like a month ago, and we're just now recognizing it. But we want to recognize all the listeners.
Of course, yes. And of course, we'll have more coming in.
Yes.
As the week comes on.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, that's all the news that I have for the moment. Raymond, do you have anything?
Not much. I mean, like I've said before, I'm on permanent vacation, so, and it's not like I've had a ton of crazy things to talk about on the show.
No?
I can tell you about my mosquito bite. I got a big mosquito bite on my knuckle, and it started to form into this bruise. So it sort of became sort of hard and sort of firm. It was sort of, icky, but now it's kind of receding, so that was neat.
You fascinate me.
All right, yeah. I think even before you went on vacation, I was at the train station, at night, and some large guy was trying to ask me about how to work the ticket machines. He was from the Army, I saw. He wasn't in fatigues, but he had a shirt on that had U.S. Army. It was a polo shirt.
You think he gave you the mosquito bite?
No, this is not related.
Oh, okay.
And so he was kind of dumb, and I was just I don't want to deal with it because it was midnight, and I just want to go home. And then it was he kept asking people how to do the same thing over and over and how the tickets work, and I was just okay. So yeah, that's
Did you help him?
A little bit.
Okay.
I sort of blew him off.
So glad you said off.
I sort of...
What's going on?
Let's see, what else? I got a case for my 3DS, because to make
that
it
is a good looking
to
case.
make it look black.
I like that business.
The thing is that I don't like cases on my electronics in general.
Yeah.
So even though my 3DS looks black and therefore inconspicuous, like how I wanted it, see past episodes, I don't know how this will turn out.
Do you think that it will address the problem?
That's my concern. I think it might in the short term, but who knows?
Who knows? Who even knows?
I'm probably just gonna stay a bashful son of a bitch.
Yes.
With my bright colored electronics.
I had a topic I wanted to get to. I believe I committed a grievous social gaffe, but you know what? But guess what? I'll get to it tomorrow, because we're doing this every goddamn day.
Teasers.
It's Homeland Week.
Teasers,
folks.
Yes. Well, now you have to do it.
Yeah, well, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a story so embarrassing, something that happened to me during my travels. I didn't even tell my family.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Now we're in the Hall of Judgment.
Oh, no, don't judge me.
Well, I can't wait. You've teased it to me, not even much more than that.
I have not told you anything. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, shall we wrap up the first episode of Homeland Week?
Do we have Overnerds?
Oh my God! I'm sorry. Yeah, I totally forgot.
Yeah,
folks, we're not.
Alex is a little
yet.
tired today, folks.
Yeah.
If I didn't mention that already.
Where am I? Can I get a number 4 combo? I'm Alex.
Yeah. Okay. Pause for beer drinking.
Sorry, I'm drinking beer. All right, we got Overnerds here. We got, how many did we get? A lot.
We got quite a bit
since we set up the No More Whoppers email.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to read all these or?
Well, gee, I don't know.
How many are we reading today?
We got about 8 total.
Wow. All right, so we can do 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, that works out. All right, we have a couple from Facebook and a couple from Gmail, but since I have Gmail open first, I'm going to just start from there.
Do it.
And we'll get to Facebook whenever. Right?
Whenevs.
But yeah, we have ones going all the way back to the beginning of the month when you left, basically.
Right.
So I will read the first one here. This comes from a Brian Rude, which I guess fits over nerds because, we're about being rude to these nerds.
Yes.
Nerd to these rude nerds.
Sometimes they need it. Sometimes I feel bad.
I'm not a fan of myself tonight. Anyway, Brian writes, I went to an awful art school for a year or so after I got out of the Air Force, one of those places that advertises on daytime TV, so you know the kind of quality I'm talking about. In one of my elective classes, I met a guy who was in the video game design major and called himself the Viking Overlord. Ooh. He would draw a little cartoony Viking head on the whiteboard every week and write the Viking Overlord in Leet Speak, which was the first time I had seen it used, non-ironically, since 2002, and this was 2011. Anyway, he liked to carry around a plastic toy axe all the time, and he would only speak extremely loud all the time. I once saw a project he had written up for a game design class in which he had to draft a proposal for a new game, and his was a Final Fantasy VII remake. The class that I shared with him was art history, and at one point I did a presentation on the history of video games. I brought my 3DS as an example of a newly released game technology, and he started shaking his head as hard as he could, like a toddler. And as I kept talking, he shouted stuff like, "The 3DS sucks!" I offered to pass the 3DS around so people could see it, and he snatched it from the person I handed it to and said, "Hey, do you have Zelda?" That's Brian's Overnerd. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, thank you, Brian. God.
Thank you, Viking Overlord, for existing.
Yes. I don't know. I was kind of forgiving of this guy until the toddler shaking of the head.
Yeah. I'm curious exactly how much like a Viking Overlord he looked like. Like,
Yeah.
is this like a large guy with a huge
Well,
beard?
yeah, I find that's sort of a lazy shortcut that anyone of even vaguely Nordic heritage is apt to take.
Right.
It's like, oh, my great grandfather was from
So you're...
what?
Are you saying he went the extra mile?
Yeah, I'm
He
well,
got the axe and he called himself that?
Yeah, I'm saying it's like if you've got one asshole who lives in Boston and he's got one
Right.
great grandparent who was from Ireland and he goes on this whole Irish kick. He
Yeah.
calls himself Irish. No, you douchebag, you're not Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm not saying this guy did that. I'm just saying it is a common thing for people to latch on to a culture. People in need of an identity.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially anything Viking related, that draws in the nerds.
Yeah.
And I honestly,
Because that, if I may say, that also goes hand in hand with like heavy metal things.
yes,
Yeah.
of course. And
Nothing
I
against heavy metal.
don't care if a guy wants to call himself the Viking King or whatever and write his name in Leet Speak, but
Overlord.
I do apologize.
It's the Overlord Overnerd.
Yes. Oh, lords and nerds together.
So what's your point? You hate the guy or not?
Yes, but only for his just shouting that the 3DS sucks.
Yeah, that's
It's a form. It's a console.
A little
It's
excessive.
not like. I mean, it's like shouting. I don't know.
that's like the embodiment of a game message board.
Yeah, like
You have people like that who just
you're-
bring that console war shit into real life. And it's like, okay,
if you have the time and energy to actually be invested and take sides in something as frivolous as consoles,
or just entertainment media.
yeah, like
in general.
you got some serious shit to evaluate.
Yeah.
Like life is too short to support a video game console and
Yeah.
and
Or-
boycott
or-
another one.
yeah.
Like,
Not just boycott, but perhaps wish death upon.
yeah, I'm like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
I had another thing to say similar to that. Oh yeah, that's right. My response,
Yes.
in turn, the one I will give.
Oh yes, of course. Because this, should I perhaps reintroduce the concept?
Yes, please.
Of Overnerds.
Please do.
People send in their stories of nerds or things that they did that were super nerdy, and Alex in turn matches it
I will try.
as best he can.
This one, I don't know if I can quite match it.
You can come close.
I'm going to go from the angle of lead speak and nicknames. Now, again, this is not this was not me that it happened to.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
sometimes
a friend of mine in high school, and I want to preface this by saying that this guy now is a very well-adjusted adult, and this was a phase of his in high school.
Okay.
Which is part of my larger point that Overnerds should serve as a cautionary tale, and indeed, a lot of these people do grow out of these things.
If I may say, it
What?
gets better.
Thank you. It does. It gets better.
Yeah.
Just realize there are games besides Final Fantasy VII. There was a guy, I won't use his name. Anyone listening knows who he is, who was a saxophone prodigy in my school.
Okay.
So
far, so good.
He skipped one, maybe two grades in elementary school. He was the youngest kid in our class. He was a musical genius, a saxophone prodigy. He played saxophone, obviously. And during the advent of the internet, he took the screen name Prince of Sax
Yes.
and had it written in lead speak on a T-shirt that his dad had made.
Oh dear.
And he would
Okay.
wear this to school. And I don't know. It's first of all, wearing a T-shirt your dad made may be bad enough. But wearing
World's
a T-shirt,
greatest son.
That's very sweet. I like to think. But it's wearing your screen name. Like, unless you run a media empire, you don't really have a cause or a reason to wear your screen name literally on your sleeve.
Are you implying that because we have a podcast that you can wear a shirt that says Hooded Patooey on it?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't even do that. I would wear a No More Whoppers shirt. Folks, write in if you want No More Whoppers T-shirts. I would not wear a shirt with my screen name on it. That's ridiculous. It's like, it's weird.
Alex!
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's
How about this?
I'm from Italy.
It's
Kiss me, I'm Italian.
thanks.
Of course, that's not an original thing. But
It's like if it's not like it's your fake name.
yeah,
It's not really you.
yeah.
I mean, it kind of is. It's like if Al Pacino just wore a T-shirt around that said Michael Corleone on it. Like, no, dude, it's not
It
you.
needs to be
Okay, that would be really awesome.
M1CH3.
Oh, I take it back.
Yeah.
I knew it was you, Fredo. You broke my less than 3.
Well, I have to say, that is kind of a mild story for that kid, because it
Yeah.
sounds like one of those things that he would have grown out of.
He did.
It's not even that bad.
And he's a very successful musician nowadays, and
Yeah.
even by the end of high school, he had grown out of it.
Yeah.
I think it's just that time when everybody does dumb things.
Does he still call himself Prince of Sax?
I don't think so.
Okay, it's not like on an album or something.
No, he's now king of woodwind.
Did he like release? Some of those child musicians, they release an album that might not sound. I may not have a great name.
He was in a band in high school that released an album.
I see.
I can't remember the name of it, but
The Monarchy.
yes, the reigning monarch.
Yeah.
He played with a lot of bands in the city, like in Pittsburgh.
All right,
he would sit in with a lot of bands, and he plays multiple instruments as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that.
He turned out okay.
Yeah, he was a music nerd, but he used his talents for good, as opposed to Viking Overlord, who just uses his talents, quote unquote, talents to annoy.
Yeah, we didn't. Do we?
Don't
we didn't
thi-
hit
I-
on a talent.
Yeah, I don't think
really.
there are any talents at all.
No. All right. Well, let's move into our second overnerd of the night. This comes from Robbie White,
Hi, Robbie.
and this is an overnerd story of his own, something he did.
Oh, an original.
That's what I mean.
I love it.
Okay. He writes.
Let me say, it takes a lot of balls to write in and submit your own.
That's not what he wrote. Yes, no, it does. He writes, the year is 1998. I am 16 years old and should probably consider myself too old or cool to be interested in Pokemon. Nonetheless, I am extremely excited about the upcoming release of Pokemon Red and Blue. I've developed a Pokemon website on Angel Fire called the Pokemon Zone, complete with terrible animated GIFs. Well, Angel Fire. Given that the Pokemon craze hadn't officially hit North America and that I could not read Japanese, my site was mostly devoid of actual content. Lots of GIFs, though. I listed after the game, but with no income, I didn't have the money to purchase it. Instead of getting a job like a normal teenager, I decided that I needed to hawk some of my wares. So being the nerd I was, all my wares were gaming related. My entire NES and Genesis collections were sold off to fuel my N64 addiction.
Ooh.
And all I had left was some old thing called a Vectrix. Maybe I could get a couple bucks for that. It was a near mint Vectrix, complete with 2 controllers and several games, all with their overlays. I put it up for sale in the local bargain finder, stating that I'd trade it for a copy of Pokemon. As you can imagine, it was snapped up immediately. I'm pretty sure the guy who bought it rubbed his hands together maniacally and laughed like a James Bond villain. It wasn't until a few years later, after catching them all, I might add, that I realized the error of my ways. It still stings whenever I see a Vectrix for sale for hundreds of dollars. I choose you, short-sightedness. Thank you, Robbie.
Yeah, how much does a Victrix in good condition go for, by the way?
Well, if it was like he said it was, and even, late 90s, the Vectrix was still kind of obscure and a nice little curio. I don't know. Really, I mean, a couple $100?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No, so not a gigantic loss, but enough to make you kick yourself.
Yeah, I mean, probably even more if it was, good enough condition, and he did it at a local classifieds,
Yeah.
Well, we all make mistakes.
Well, I don't know that I have a mistake. Okay, you know what? I could give 3 of my own stories for this.
How about an eBay folly, something like that?
No, not even an eBay folly. Just it's all right. This one is kind of loosely related. Just pouring excess money into something that you didn't need to.
Yes.
Vanadil.
And we're done.
And scene. No, okay, yeah, Final Fantasy XI is a good example. But I also poured way too much money into LARP in high school.
Okay.
My girlfriend in high school was very into LARP, which is live action role play.
Yeah.
And she got me into it. It'll be fun, hey, whatever.
Yeah, could be
and
worse.
on the surface, I think there's something about it that I do appreciate because
Imagination?
Imagination. In high school, I was very into Dungeons and Dragons and the Star Wars PNP series. I play with my friends. But there was, once you make that leap into dressing up and going, forgive my language, full retard, there's no turning back.
Yeah.
And I poured hundreds of dollars into that.
For what?
There's a registration fee. You've got to pay to go to each event. Events are, I think, 2 to 3 days long.
If you're registered, you still have to pay for the event?
You got to register with the organization and then pay for each event that you go to.
Okay.
There's also a lot of money to pour into your costume, into making your weapons and armor and everything.
That's what I was thinking.
And this girl eventually herself poured hundreds of dollars into it by learning how to. She was one of the people who learned how to make her own chainmail. To save money, because you get chainmail, you get chainmail from a dealer. You're spending a lot of money.
Basic economics.
Yeah. Hey, make your own chainmail. That's
why buy soap when you can make it at home?
Exactly.
Get some lye and some.
Why go out for burgers when you can have sex?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had two LARP characters. One was a pansy-ass mage, and one was a pansy-ass warrior.
Okay. By character type, or just born from your own personality?
Character type,
Okay.
character type. And I even had, the worst part of it was the guy who ran the events, who organized the events, had a crush on my girlfriend at the time, and he hated my guts. And what he would do
was he even your age?
He was a grade above us, yeah.
Okay.
And because he was the game master, more or less, he would just send out undead to come find me and kill me.
Right.
Just to kill my dude. He wanted me out of the picture. And
These guys are bad if they ever punch you.
Thank you. Yes, they're bad if they ever or do anything really to you. And he's loading up these undead with instant death spells and shit. And he's go up to the tavern and kill the dude in the blue cloak.
Attack him as soon as the door opens.
Very good.
Yeah.
These are great drops. I'm loving these. And I would dodge. I would try to dodge them to the best of my ability. But every time I would get killed by these instant death. Why are there fucking zombies in the tavern? Oh,
Ouch.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, it was good.
Going through the hole.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the one side of it that I can relate to
Yeah.
is wasting money on something, pouring money, and then years later realizing, oh, that was dumb. I could have used that one.
But did you ever sell anything to get money for that? Sell
no.
anything that might have.
That was around the time I had my first job. I worked in the public library with my girlfriend. Shut up! Shut up!
I'm sorry. All roads lead to.
All road leads to Fraioli.
Yeah.
I'm sacrificing myself for this show.
Yes.
The other two angles of his story I wanted to sort of offer a story for were Angel Fire and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because for one, I had a series of Angel Fire sites.
Of course.
One of them was a Sephiroth shrine. One of them was a much larger scoped Final Fantasy boss shrine. I even had a page for X-Death, before I'd ever played FF5.
Oh my God!
Yeah, tell me about it. And then on the Pokemon side, I was into Pokemon way, way too late.
Right.
I would watch
in age or just in series?
In age. I would watch the show. I was, I think, a junior in high school. I would watch the show. I had already seen all the episodes, and I would still watch it every morning.
I think we were the same age as Robbie.
Yeah, and but it wasn't just playing the game and watching the show. That is the extent of what I did, but there was also an intense interest in trading. I would meet up with my friends every morning before class, and we would trade Pokemon. I even got into a discussion with it about the show, about the anime, with my Spanish teacher because her son in middle school loves the show.
Yeah.
And that should have been a tip-off, like, hey, maybe you're too old. I don't know.
There's a funny webcomic about that. Webcomic strip.
Yes, I know the one you're talking about.
Katie, what's her name?
Yes, I think that's a funny strip. And I think that kind of captures how I feel about a lot of video games.
Basically, yeah. If you're in Pokemon in high school, people deride you for liking Pokemon. Then in college, everybody loves Pokemon. You can find your friends really easily. But nonetheless, I know what you mean.
That's all I got. Thank you very much.
Yes.
What's his name?
Robbie.
Colin Quinn. Robbie. There we go.
Robbie White. You know, I'm sure we could make a Breaking Bad joke or something.
Sure.
Mr. White. Dude, thank you. Yeah. Well, that's a good note to end on.
I think so.
By that, I mean it's not, but...
What are we doing for the ending music? We don't have anything?
You'll see.
Okay. I don't know. Jeez, I'm excited now.
No, it's actually just a repeat of the thing.
That's fine. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us for day one.
Join us tomorrow. That was loud, sorry.
Yes, it was loud. But yes, please do join us around the same time tomorrow.
Around the fireplace.
For day 2 of No More Whoppers Homeland Week, a.k.a. a Fraioli Home Companion. Alex, thank you for, still staying awake.
I'm doing our best. Fish.
We'll see if we have anything else to talk about. God willing. Good night and Godspeed.
Hey Ray, play me some Dragon Quest.
Okay.
F